You are looking at a dangerous creature washed up on a beach. Welcome back, Charlie here. Beaches are sometimes relaxing, but the ocean often washes up bizarre things onto beaches, from gigantic creatures to live bombs. First, we have to look at this mysterious creature. In 2016, this mysterious sea creature washed up on a beach in Mexico. Everyone who witnessed this was totally baffled, including researchers and experts. The creature was a massive 13 feet long and washed up on a busy beach in the city of Acapulco. The big grey blob was unidentified for some time, but some now believe this may be the remains of a whale. That would make the size make sense, but it really doesn't look like a whale, just a big grey gooey blob. Perhaps this is some unidentified animal humans have not yet discovered. Moving on, we have to look at this rare sea serpent. In 2015, this gigantic sea serpent was discovered on Catalina Island. This rarely seen sea serpent is an oarfish. These are not commonly found, especially not at this size. They found the oarfish washed up on the beach, and it measured an impressive 14 feet. But strangely, it seemed to be missing its tail, likely chewed off by a sea predator. Next, let's look at this megalodon. There's nothing unusual about a shark washing up on a beach, but when this shark washed up on an Australian beach, it made headlines worldwide. That's because of the sheer size of this shark. The shark also looks nothing like other sharks found in the area. Many say this resembles a megalodon more than any other kind of shark. Megalodons are relatives of the great white shark, although this is far too big to be a great white. Beachgoers were stunned when they found this washed up, floating in the shallow waters. Its size seemed to be similar to that of a megalodon. Megalodons were anywhere between 50 to 60 feet in length. Megalodons are said to have gone extinct anywhere from 2.6 to 1.6 million years ago. It's believed changes in sea temperatures caused them to go extinct, but maybe with climate change, megalodons have somehow made a comeback. Next, let's look at this live bomb found on a beach. Just imagine you're relaxing on a beach one day when, bang, you're blown up by a live explosive. It sounds crazy, but that's what nearly happened to a family in Wales. This family had been picnicking on Barry Port in Wales. That's when their two young kids saw something washing up on the beach. It was a round metal object with barnacles stuck to it. The family thought it may be a boy, so they had their photo taken with it and then simply moved on with their day. But officials later realized this was a US military mine bomb. Of course, shocking the family who had been casually standing next to it. The beach was evacuated and a bomb squad was called in. The mine was then blown up in a controlled detonation. It's safe to say this family had a very lucky escape. Next, we have to look at hundreds of whales washed up on a beach. A whale beaching itself is a rare occurrence, but hundreds doing so at the same time is unheard of. But that's exactly what happened on October 13th, 2022. Almost 500 whales were beached on New Zealand's Chatham Islands. This was unprecedented and marine biologists were scared, but experts later concluded that all of these whales got ill. One of the whales developed some kind of disease. As the whales travel in pods, this spread to every other whale, causing these hundreds of whales to be beached. Next, let's look at this beach full of snowballs. One day on a Siberian beach, thousands of snowballs appeared overnight. They were all perfect spheres and looked like they'd been rolled by hand. But make no mistake, this was not man-made. There were actually 11 miles of snowballs. But how did this happen? Well, they started out as small shards of ice. The beach's waves then caused them to roll, forming thousands of giant snowballs overnight. It's a very rare and amazing natural phenomena. The right kind of ice, wind, and temperature conditions cause this. But it's very rare that all of these conditions happen at the same time. When they do though, it's an amazing sight to see. Now we have to look at this giant turtle on a beach. This is the Rhinoceros leatherback turtle. These can grow 5 times bigger than the average giant tortoise. These are very rare and also endangered, and recently these turtles have been laying their eggs on busy beaches. They haven't been going on beaches for hundreds of years, but all of a sudden their behavior has totally changed, causing researchers to get very concerned. These turtles may be doing this to try and preserve their species. Due to climate change, many species have been exhibiting exhibiting bizarre nesting patterns. And the Rhinoceros leatherback turtle is no exception. Now let's look at this squid monster. This photo was taken on Bondi Beach in Australia. It shows a massive creature with many weird tentacles. Men in yellow biohazard suits appear to be inspecting whatever this is. It appears to be a giant octopus or squid washed up on the beach, or even some animal from the depths of hell. Many online debated what this creature is, and if it was even real. But have no fear, it was later revealed to be a marketing stunt for the TV show Stranger Things. But can you imagine walking to your local beach and seeing this? If you didn't know this was simply a stunt for a TV show, you would get seriously scared. Next, let's look at this giant beach monster. This viral image appears to show some kind of creature washed up on a beach. Some believe this to be a whale of sorts. It appears to be absolutely massive, and is an odd blue and purple color. While the body does look like a decomposing whale, the head does not. It seems to have a humanoid-like face with scary sharp teeth. What do you think this creature could possibly be? Moving on, I have to show you these giant pipes. One day, locals in Norfolk, UK got a shock. These enormous pipes had washed up on their beaches. It's hard to fathom just how large these are only looking at video. But here's one of these pipes compared to a human. As you can see, they're totally massive. But where did these massive pipes come from? The pipes had actually come off a towing ship heading to Algeria. They'd somehow come loose and drifted into the sea. The pipes were made of plastic and were 8 feet in diameter, and were a massive 1,500 feet long. After these were found, they were shipped to Norway, and then to their intended destination in Algeria. Now we have to look at this Goliath Grouper washed up on a beach. On July 14th, 2021, hundreds of tons of fish washed up on a beach in Florida. The fish had all been poisoned due to toxic algae. In total, more than 600 tons of dead fish was collected. These deadly algae blooms are known as red tide. That's why these very scary looking creatures had to be removed from the beaches. If anyone was to touch, or God forbid eat one of these fish, it could cause serious problems. Moving on, let's look at this Siamese twin whale. As I mentioned, a whale beaching itself is not uncommon, but in 2015 when this whale beached itself, everyone was stunned. The creature didn't look like a whale at all. It had 2 heads, 2 tails, but only 1 body. These whales were actually Siamese twins. Just like how human twins sometimes merge into one, whales can do the same thing. This is one of the only recorded sightings of a Siamese twin whale. Finally, we have to look at these crabs. It's not interesting to see a single crab on a beach, but what about millions of crabs turning an entire beach totally red? That's what happened in California. Millions of tuna red crabs turned this beach red. The occurrence was very weird for this area. It had literally never been seen before. Experts said this was because of a shift in weather. The crabs didn't know how to react, so they all beached themselves in California. Locals had to use large paddles to remove these crabs. Some locals even took these home to eat, but there were simply too many, and eventually authorities cleared them away. Now it's time to make your voice heard. Which was the strangest thing found washed up on a beach? Let me know in the comments down below. As always, I've been Charlie. Thanks for watching. If you want to see my short videos, check out my second channel. Leave a like if you enjoyed, and if you haven't already, then what are you waiting for? Subscribe to Top 10s.